Hey, GAP Math students. This is a video for expectations, class expectations for session 7. This is very important to make sure you watch and do the tests to follow. That'll be in the same spot where this video was posted. I'm going to try to get it through it a little faster because most of you have had me other sessions this school year already. This will be the last time you have math for the school year, as we just have sessions 7 and 8 left. So I'm going to start out with just kind of talking about quick what you will be getting on the pickup day on Wednesday. So hopefully you're watching this before then, but even if you're watching this after, you have to get this video test, the expectations video test, done before I accept any other work for this class. It's very important to do this. So let's start with what you're going to be getting at the pickup day. Depending on what class you have with me, you're either going to get a blue folder for Math 11-12 or a red folder for Math 9-10. This video will go for both. I'll just kind of cover, because a lot of the things will be similar. So the first thing, when you get your packet or your folder, you will have a packet in there. Just what it will look like. Math 11-12, you're going to be doing geometry, just kind of an intro to geometry. This session, Math 9-10 has already done something similar to this, but this will be the cover of your packet, and we'll talk about this later on what you're going to be doing with this, but it won't have notes on this already. These are things that I did, and we'll talk about that soon. But you'll have this packet that will have example problems and where you're going to take your notes and things like that. Math 9-10, you're going to be doing data, probability, and stat basics this session. Okay, so you will have that packet. That's where you'll do your notes, and we'll talk about that soon in more detail. Next, you will have, there will be a sheet in there that will have a calendar on it. The calendar is basically a guideline for what we'll be doing in the session. You don't have to follow this exactly, but if you follow this, for the most part, the class will go a little easier, much smoother. So you see the first day, the 13th, is set aside for just watching this video and taking the expectations video test. Okay, then there's the material will kind of go on a 3-day cycle. I will post video notes, okay, which I'll talk about more detail here in a second. And it says what subjects or what objectives will be posted. So Math 11-12, it'll be objectives 1-4 in your packet. Math 9-10, objectives 113 through 115 in your packet. Okay, so the goal for that day then would be to watch the video and copy the notes. Okay, then I give you a day just to practice any problems I didn't do in the notes and ask me any questions if you need help. And then another day would be to ask for the test and to take the test. And then that just continues a 3-day cycle like that. I post notes, time to practice and ask questions, and then take a test. If you follow that, you could actually be done a couple days early with the class and not have any work to do. Because at the end, there's kind of a work day, 2 work days built in. The last day of the session is May 6th. All work will be due by 12:30 p.m. So that means just after noon during lunchtime. Okay, there's no school on the 7th. So that is the calendar. Then the last sheet you'll have in your folder. So you have the packet, you have the calendar, and then the last thing you're going to have is the expectations sheet or the syllabus. And let's go down a little bit smaller here. All right, so I'm going to run through this quick. Just go over the main points. Again, some of you have heard this before, but maybe you didn't do the expectations test before, or you weren't catching some things. Make sure you're paying attention, and do well on the test to make sure you understand what's being asked of you for the session. So first thing, 2 main ways to get a hold of me. Teams chat should probably always be first. If you have a question or anything, if you're having problems getting in the Teams or have other questions regarding that, or something just isn't working on Teams, you can text my work cell phone, which is right there. So those are the 2 main ways to contact me. Teams chat should be first. My cell phone should be second. Class objective and class environment, I've went over that in the past. I could talk about that more, but we'll save some time. If you're new to the class, just kind of take a look at that. I probably don't take math as seriously as maybe some past math teachers you have. I think it's important, but I think it's just something needed in life, and not, I want you to learn the skills that you need in life, not just do math to do math. So one big thing here, almost all problems can be avoided or solved by proper communication. That's important, especially in this distance learning stuff. If you have questions about the material, you need to be asking questions, but also anything else. If it's problems with Teams, you need to text me then and let me know that right away. If you have things going on in life, you're sick, you have family things going on, and I don't always need the specifics, but let me or let your teachers know, because that could be, you know, maybe we give you a little time to finish an assignment, or we can alter things, and we can, you know, if you're communicating, that can only benefit you. Okay. Next thing, you know, I don't expect everyone to be great at math, and you don't have to be to get full credit. If you communicate well and have a strong work ethic, you will get full credit. That is the key to this class. Okay, you follow through on the calendar. You're going to see when I go over how I grade. You're just doing the work. You're going to be fine. Sessions versus quarters. You should be used to this by now if you've been here. So the main thing is that we only have 3 classes per session. So you're going to be doing the same amount of work that you usually do in a quarter. That's 8 weeks long, but you're going to be doing it in 4 weeks now. But the difference is you only have 3 classes to worry about instead of 6. Okay, so what that means is, since you only have 3 classes right now, there are 2 hours set aside per day for each of those classes. Now for this class, if you're staying on track, you'll never have to do 2 hours of work a day. If you're following that calendar, you're looking at less than an hour a day. Some days could be way less. If you take the notes and practice problems one day, you could test the next day. You might not have to do nothing the 3rd day. Just depends on how on track you stay. Okay, if you get way behind, you save everything to the end, you might be doing more than 2 hours a day. Okay. One thing that's a little different this session than when you had me last session is I changed the grading just a little bit. This is the new grade breakdown. Very important to understand this. 20% of your grade is just daily tasks. Okay, you need to understand that. Those should be super easy. I've done these in the past, but a lot of people hadn't been doing them. Starting, I think, on the 2nd or 3rd day, there'll be just a daily task each day printed on the to-dos that I write up each day. It can be, I'll show you an example here in a little bit, but it can be something very simple and takes by far less than 5 minutes. Okay, so those should be very easy. Those cannot be made up. They need to be done the day that I ask for them. That's the only thing that needs to be done on certain days, is the daily tasks. Notes are 40% of your grade. Okay. And notes is just, you don't have to listen and write down anything without seeing it written. So you will just copy what I write on the videos. That is worth 40% of your grade. And then tests are 40% of your grade. Okay. So what this means, and I don't need to go into how this math breaks down, but if you do all your notes and daily tasks, so you got 100% on both of those, you would only need to average 25% on your tests, and you could still get full credit. Now, if you're missing daily tasks and you're not copying all the notes, then you have to do better on your tests. But I mean, everyone in this class can get 25% or more on their tests on average. I guarantee that. So make sure you're doing your daily tasks. Make sure you're copying your notes. This stuff is the same. You get 70% overall or more, you're going to get full credit. The only thing that can affect that is your attendance, which we'll talk about. And then the grade breakdown just goes as follows. Attendance. You're supposed to have 90% attendance or more. If you do that, whatever credit you earn will stay the same. If your credit drops below 90, your credit will drop. So if you have between 75 and 89% attendance, your credit would drop 0.25. Okay, so if you earned a credit, but your attendance was 80%, you would only earn 0.75 because it would drop 0.25, and then so on. If you get 60% attendance, if it's in that range, it drops 0.5, and so on. Okay. Quickly through how the class will run. Lessons will be pre-recorded. That means you can do them anytime. You can watch them in the morning, you can watch them at night. You don't have to watch them during class time. Okay, I would suggest doing them on the day they're posted so you don't get behind. Okay, you will do them right in your packet. Okay, that's in your folder, and copy down the notes you see in the video. Okay, then to get the points, you need to send me a picture of the notes you copied. Okay, and this alone is, again, 40% of your grade. Okay, I won't be doing every problem in the packet. Okay, and you don't need to do every problem in the packet. Okay, if you're understanding it from the notes, you're good and you can ask for the test. However, I do recommend that you try some of the other problems that I didn't do. Try them, see how you're doing. The answers are at the end of each section, so you can check your understanding. If you're not getting the right answers or don't know how they got the right answers, that's when you have to ask for help. Okay, then you can ask for help. I can help you. Then when you're ready, you must ask for a test. I don't post the tests. When you are ready, you need to ask for a test, and then I'll send it to you. Okay, I will be available for any help and questions at these given times. Basically from 8:30 to 12:30, and I give priority to if you're in that class at that time. So if you're a math 11-12 student and you have a question at 9 a.m., I'm going to make sure I get right to that. If you're a math 11-12 student and you ask your question at 11:30 a.m., I'm still going to answer that right away unless I'm helping math 9-10 at that time. Okay. So 8:30 to 12:30, I should be able to respond very quickly, unless I'm helping someone already, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you try to contact me after 12:30, kind of between 12:30 and 3:30, like school time, I'll still try to get back to you as soon as possible, but I might be in a meeting, I might be recording videos, doing other things, so I will get back to you soon. It might not be right away. If you try contacting me after 3:30 at night, you can still do that. I just might not respond until 8:30 the next morning, but if I see the message and I'm not doing anything important, I will answer and help you. Okay, so it doesn't hurt to ask, or if you want a test and it's 6 o'clock at night, go ahead and ask for it. I may or may not get it to you that night. Okay, You can always come in to school if you need help with technology or just math in general. The teachers are here often. We can usually make something work if you want to come in and get personal help. Okay. Don't forget to check in for daily attendance. Okay. And I think most of you know this by now, checking in with another teacher does not count for this class. I'll go over this in a second and give you an example, but make sure you check both the general channel and chat messages daily. Okay. There will always be something on the general channel. I'll post the to-do and a daily task. Okay. Chat messages, maybe not every day, but I often do send messages about your progress and what you should be doing. Okay. Again, easy daily tasks are worth 20% of your grade. Okay. So make sure you are going to the general channel, looking at the to-dos, and find the daily task. Again, those cannot be made up. They need to be done on the day they're posted. Okay. I went over this before. The tests usually aren't that long. You need to ask for the test when you're ready. You can test out of topics, but the only way to test out, which means you wouldn't have to take the notes for it, is to ask for that test before I post the notes. Okay, so going back to the calendar, you're not going to have much of a chance to test out of the first section unless you ask for it on, Tuesday the 13th. But let's say you get this first section done and you want to test out of the next group of notes, you need to ask for the test before I post them on the 19th. And then you would have 1 day to finish that. Okay, and you actually need to finish the test before I post the notes. Okay, so that's how testing out works. It's not for everybody, but it's an option. You can always retake any topics you don't do well on, but it's up to you to ask for that opportunity. Okay, I'll never say you have to retake it. I might say if you want a certain amount of credit, you're going to have to retake one. But I'll never tell you have to, but you can retake any test you take. Okay. Again, as I mentioned before, the two things that you need to do well in this class is just communicate and have a great work ethic. Okay. If you have the work ethic to go online every day, do the daily task, copy notes, you're going to be fine. Okay. Last thing we'll go to is just go over what you should be doing daily when you go online. A lot of you know this, but some of you still don't. So this is my just example student, a fake student. You won't see this many classes here. You won't see especially this many math classes. These are just the ones I have this fake student in. But if you do have some old, I'll show you how to hide any of these. Like if I don't not in this class anymore and you want to hide your session 6 classes, you can go like this and just hit hide. And it's not gone away, it just goes down here to hidden teams. So now these are all my old classes. I come back here. If you want to rearrange classes, well, these are my session 7 ones. I'm going to move those over here. You just go on them and move them. Okay, so this is your teams page. First thing you should do daily, and I'll just show you an example of from last session. You click on the teams. Now there won't be this many. This is from last session, but you would look on here and find the current date, which would be at the bottom. I'm just going to go to a past one just to show you what it would look like. Okay, so it would say, first thing you should do is when you're done reading this is check in for attendance, which you go over here, click on, and just right here. We can do that in a second. The second thing I'm usually going to post is what assignments have been done so far. So this was, towards the end of the session. So this was everything that was expected to be done. I'll usually show kind of the close-up of the week in a calendar. Here's the daily task. Okay. Sometimes it's an actual little math problem. Other times it's just asking like, when is all your work due for the class? But here it was something, it just says if you have a job that pays $19.50 an hour, you work 20 hours a week for 50 weeks a year, what will your gross pay be for the year? And then it says what the gross pay is. So that's an example of just answering a math question to get your daily task points. Again, one problem. Let's see if other daily tasks and little math problem there. But right here, here's an example. That's another, but sometimes again, it might only be like asking when something is due. Like here, it even says what amount of credit, you just have to text me this, or write me a chat message. What amount of credit do you want to get and are willing to work for this session? So that could be different. You just have to write, are you wanting half a credit, full credit? What do you want? Okay. So then you'd read that. Okay. You would send me a chat with your answer to the daily task. You would click here for, just go in and type here for attendance. You would go to your chat messages, check those. You would send me the answer to your daily task, and then look for any new messages that you might have here. This is one that maybe you should have seen already. I sent to the group. Try to remember not to reply to group chat messages. Just if you have a question on the post, just send me a personal chat message. Up here, any activity just means it's probably things your teachers have posted or anything like that would need to require your attention. Okay. Keep clicking on Teams and you go back to your classes. Okay. Again, if you want to hide your old classes, go here, hit hide. Here, hit hide. Then you should have the three classes and probably this MIT information announcement. So you might have 4 boxes up here. Okay. All right. So that's it for the video. If you have any questions regarding what I posted here, let me know. And make sure you're doing your daily tasks each day. Those cannot be made up. Get the notes copied, ask for tests. You do all that, you're going to get full credit. Okay, let me know if you have any questions.